Hey guys, and welcome to another Wackimus HD figure reviews. I am your host, Chris, aka Chill Wackimus Prime, and I'm here to do another figure review for you guys. Now, today's figure is a Jeep of all sorts of things. That's right, you heard right, a Jeep. Now, I'm not really a Jeep guy myself, but this guy's pretty cool. He's ToyWorlds Grindrod, he goes by the name of, and he's a reimagining of a Throttlebot. Now, that's really cool. But I think I'd still take a pickup truck. But let's take a look at this guy. So guys, sit back, relax, enjoy the review. Okay, here we are for an off-road review here with ToyWorlds' first Throttlebot release of Grindrod. Alright, I was a little harsh earlier, guys. I don't hate Jeeps, especially one as nicely detailed as this guy. In fact, I'd say Grindrod bears a striking likeness to his real-life counterpart as a Jeep Wrangler, not a Jeep Liberty. Some have believed he was a Liberty, and although I can understand some of that given ToyWorld's obvious liberties they took in his Jeep Wrangler likeness, that's liberties as in his design choice, guys, not as the vehicle, it's really clear he bears more likeness to the Wrangler. The only thing really missing of detail and paint on this guy is some official Jeep logos in my opinion, but they're missing for obvious reasons of course. And we all know this guy is really a Jeep, so you know what that means. Yeah, Jeeps usually get stuck, so he better be friends with a tow truck driver. Luckily Grindrod here is friends with Hoist here, so if he gets stuck, he's got a buddy. Speaking of Hoist, by the way, he looks really fantastic beside him. Yeah, Grindrod is the perfect scale to go along with your Classics and Generations line. Granted, these aren't the same small Throttlebots we all know and remember from G1. No, given their new size, ToyWorlds Throttlebots seem to indicate to me that they have grown up from their tiny G1 days as little tiny pocket formers to a seasoned crew of experienced bots. ToyWorld is seemingly saying to me at this point, ditch the pullback gimmicks and give me a bot who can get the job done. Yes, ToyWorld, I approve, sir. I love where this is going. Grindrod here definitely gets the job done with his new big boy transformation. Tenfold more complex than his G1 counterpart, it's less pocket former and more deluxe scale transformer from nowadays. This is good considering most fans who likely remember the Throttlebots from back in the 80s have probably grown as well, making ToyWorld's new designs a suiting evolution of characters that fits in with their new fan basis. Hey, you guys remember Rollbar, the guy who flipped up and folded out his arms in G1? Well, don't expect that here on Grindrod. Grindrod's robot mode is superb compared to that. He has a very chunky and blocky aesthetic, but he's still highly poseable, able to strike some of the most characterful stances I've seen on a chunky figure like this. He's very nonchalant with his robustness, embracing it, yet not hindered by it. This can be greatly attributed, I think, to good design choices made by ToyWorld that puts them, on this reviewer's opinion, on almost the same tier as other third-party company Fans Project. Yet, I would say they are still below Mastermind Creations, but definitely a company to watch for, hot on the heels of the top-tier third-party companies that are presently out. Granted, there's still room for improvement from ToyWorld, but I have faith that this is just the tip of the iceberg of what we've seen of figures from them. What really surprises me about this guy is all the articulation he has and how easily ToyWorld actually designed this guy and how well it works. It's really nice. He's got a ball jointed shoulder up here, as you can see, swivel joint right there below the shoulder, as well as his elbows go about 90 degrees. His wrists swivel down here. All this is super tight, by the way. It's not to any detriment. It's actually just perfect. It's what you would expect from a really good quality toy. And the plastic feels really good quality as well. It doesn't feel like anything's going to break or anything. So, he does have this upwards movement due to another joint in here. Basically for transformation, but it does allow for some outwards movement, which is really nice. His head's on a swivel joint, unfortunately, not on a ball joint. It would be nice to have a little bit more upwards and downwards movement, but
What can you say? And you can see that beautiful light piping showing through once again. It's if ToyWorld is really good at one thing, it is the light piping. It's absolutely magnificent in my opinion. Come down to the lower part of his body though, he's got almost double jointed knees here, as you can see. That's due to the transformation hinge that's inside the knee here, so that allows for a lot of range of movement. He's also got a thigh swivel, and up here he's got ball jointed range hips basically, but if you look at the back here, they're actually done with a pin system. So he's got full movement outwards, backwards, all that fun stuff. But if you didn't look closely enough, you'd actually think it's like a ball joint. So it isn't, but there you go. The only problem with this I find is over some time, I find mine are getting a little bit loose in the hips here on this guy. So maybe it might be something to look out for. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just mine. He also has a waist swivel as well, so that allows him to get some angular poses out of his waist. So that's pretty nice. Unfortunately, his feet. Now, this is where I have a bit of a detriment. All the other figures seem to have a bit of a ankle tilt. It would have been nice if this guy had it. I can't see why these couldn't have tilted down. Aurora has kind of a similar thing. This guy didn't. Not that it affects him too much, but it would have been pretty cool. Doesn't make him any worse of a figure by any means, though.
As an added feature, Grindrod's spare tire transforms to a small blaster, which he can hold. However, due to some clearance issues on his wrists, he's never really able to hold the pistol completely straight, unfortunately. But it is nice that they integrated the spare tire into his robot mode so it wasn't sitting off to the side. Especially since I think the original Rollbar didn't even come with a blaster, if I remember correctly. Hey, and I know what you're thinking. Does Grindrod take Jeep shots? Huh? Well, this guy has come a long way from his G1 self, I'll say. His fellow throttle buddies as well, making a pretty sweet looking team if I do say so myself. Okay guys, I praised this figure a lot in this review, but mostly because of how much I personally enjoy him. But I don't want to overhype him either. Grindrod in the end is a very nice figure, on par with most modern deluxes, and a simply fantastic reinterpretation of a rather bleak old character and idea. But nothing earth-shattering design-wise. Although some rumors of a possible Gestalt form seem to be helping sell the idea of this guy to some people. In this reviewer's opinion though, without concrete evidence of that, well, I see he's best looked at as a standalone figure. But he is a pretty good one at that, and one I think I can definitely recommend to you guys. That being said, guys, I thank you for watching this review. I hope it's helped you out. This has been Wackimus Prime saying I will catch you all next time.